The City of Jackson's Visitors and Conventions Commission reminds us to shop locally. From our wide selection of national retail chains to our unique downtown shops, Jackson is a great place to spend the day. Catch an exhibit or grab some lunch or dinner from one of our national restaurant chains or local eateries. Spend the night in one of our national chain hotels. No matter what your plans, the City of Jackson and Jackson County in the rolling hills of Southern Ohio is a great way to spend the day. Just a friendly reminder from the City of Jackson Visitors and Conventions Commission.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we are here in the studio, but we have a special guest somewhere else who will be joining us in just 1 second. And we have Alicia coming in she's all the way down in Georgia and took her morning to talk with us. So we appreciate that very much. But we're going to talk about something really, really cool that happened with the Growing Oaks food program. And then we'll get to some news here in just a little bit. Keep you informed on what's going on in our area as well. Probably not as much in Georgia, but right here. So welcome, Alicia. We're so happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. Like I said, even though I'm in Georgia, my heart's still in Oak Hill.
Well, we appreciate that. Although she was able to say that it is a hair warmer down in Georgia than it is here. So
yes. About sunny and 60 when you guys are having snow, so it's a little better.
Great. Okay. I used to like you, now I don't. No, it's okay. It's okay. A well-deserved break. Are you visiting Georgia, visiting some family on vacation, or what are you doing?
Yes, I'm actually down here visiting my husband and family, and I'm down here actually with him.
Well, very good. Good way to spend the holiday, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Well, that is so wonderful, and we hope that y'all enjoy. All right, so we were talking with you kind of off the air about the the Growing Oaks food program, and could you kind of explain to our viewers a little bit about what that is and how you got involved in it?
Okay, well, it goes back to 2012. We started an organization called Oaks United, and at the time, it was started. The grand idea came from Marcia McCorkle. She's a retired Oak Hill teacher, and she knew that there was a lot of students of hers that had a lot of food insecurity, especially on the weekends and during holiday times. So she and Justin Levitt at the time, he wasn't prosecuting attorney, so she kind of recruited him, and they needed a third person, and I was the school nurse at the elementary school at that time, and Marcia
Aha.
and my mom were really good friends. My mom was a retired school teacher as well, so she knew how to get to me. Basically, is she came and talked to my mother, and so she came down and we talked about this, and so I joined the ranks as the third director. So when we started, it was in August of 2012, and we just were based at the elementary school in Oak Hill. And our first Christmas giveaway, I remember we had 50 kids, and we thought, man, we were doing really, really well. So as the years went on, and Justin became prosecuting attorney, and his mom, Cheryl Lovett, stepped up to become the other director since he was uh,
A little
occupied
busy.
otherwise. Yeah, a little busy. And so Cheryl, me, and Marcia then proceeded to take off with that. So what we would do at that time is we would once a month we would give a food bag that had about anywhere from like $5 to $7 worth of food. At that time, we try to give them like a two breakfasts, two lunches, and stuff like that just over the weekend. And
Oh,
then we would do a holiday giveaway. And like I said, that first year it was like 50 kids. Now in 2023, we have expanded to where we have about 303 kids enrolled between the two schools,
Wow.
and we go by families. And when we do our giveaways, because we give such a larger volume of food, so it has grown beyond our expectation, which I always say is a good and bad thing. Which we're
Yep.
good, a good thing that we're able to provide it, but also knowing that there's such a great need. But we're glad that we're able to do that, and we've been blessed tremendously by the donors, all that stuff. So that's how Oaks United began. And since then, Marcia has retired after 10 years. She retired from it, and so I kind of carry the torch. With Cheryl helps me quite a bit too. So like I said, we're kind of down to a army of one, but I have a lot of help though.
And that's an amazing thing. And you said army, and that's exactly what it takes. It takes an army and a village, and literally a village of Oak Hill
Yeah,
to
well,
put
and
something like that on.
honestly, a village of Oak Hill, and not only the people living in the village, I'm talking about people who live in Florida now, who lived in Oak Hill. One of our most dedicated donor, she and her husband, when she went to Oak Hill, he didn't. They live in Florida now, and they have given back. I mean, have been our donors since back in 2012. So it's
That's
like a lot
awesome.
of people who have not forgotten where they came from. And I think they also know that when they give their $5 to us, or 5, 10, $500, whatever it is, that all goes to the purchase of food. We take no administrative costs or anything. So when you're giving money to Oaks United, you can guarantee that that money goes directly to the kids.
And that's the whole thing. And you all are volunteers and doing
Yes.
this out of the kindness of your heart, and we appreciate you so much for that. And I know that the kids, I'm sure, greatly appreciate it as well. And I was sitting here thinking before you said it, what a bittersweet I guess idea this is, because the fact of the matter is it's really sad that the kids need you, but you are here for them, and that's
Right.
what all that matters. So
Exactly. And we always have had some critics from the very beginning. You have a critic when you do anything,
uh,
but most of our
unbelievable.
parents, most of our parents, well, they would say that we're enabling, or the parents would be, maybe doing something less than stellar with the food that we give them or whatever. That's so. I'm not saying that's never happened, but I think I haven't looked this year's data, but I'd say it's pretty spot on that probably 85 to 90% of our families that are enrolled have at least one working parent. Some have two. And
Hmm.
some of them are working as hard as they can, and they make just enough money not to get any type of food assistance. Like they don't qualify for food stamps, or they don't, whatever, but they still have kids to feed. And
Yes.
like right now, Oak Hill's break, I mean, we're off, which is great, a little longer than usual, but when you're a food insecure family, it takes a lot to do that. I mean, I have one son, and I know how much it costs to feed him. So I can't imagine, how much, it costs to feed two. I mean, some of our families have 5 kids, 6 kids. So, we're just happy to be able to provide the need. And like I said, there's been years that I get really nervous about, oh gosh, I'm spending all this money, but it's almost like we spend it and God provides, because the bank account will get a little low, and boom, the next month we'll get some. Like we just recently got a Papa John's grant, which I'll give a shout out to Dan McKenzie for giving me the information on that. And they
Yeah.
gave us $2,500. So that
Wow.
came in right here after I had just spent about $7,500 on the food for Christmas. So it's kind of like whenever the money goes out, it comes right back in tenfold sometimes. And I really think that's because, when you put good into the world, you can get good back.
I think you are 100% correct on that, and the good will always find you when you're doing good. I truly believe that. And I was sitting here thinking about families too. A lot of the families, even if they could afford some food, you have both parents working, and they're not home to prepare stuff for the kids or whatever. So you're sending
Right.
them home with food that they can make themselves, and make sure that they actually have a meal if mom and dad are at work. So that's great
And
too.
we have learned so much through the years. And Marcia was a master at this, but we realized, because like I said, it was a lot of trial and error. And we figured out that how many families don't have a can opener. I mean, it was, we'd give them these cans of food. So we
Really?
would, yeah. So at the time, before Pop Top cans were as prevalent as they are, we had a couple, Dave and Eloise Lewis, who their son lived in up north. I always say up north somewhere if I can't remember the town, but they had like a Kroger that sold Pop Top pasta cans. So they would drive all the way there to get.
Oh,
We would order our pasta cans from there just so we could get the Pop Top. So we knew the kids could eat the food because what good is canned food if you don't have a can opener? Or so we tried to get things that are microwavable. You know,
sure.
sometimes it's not, how do I want to say this? I've also had some people, say, well, it seems like we give like ramen noodles and stuff. And I'm like, well, I could give them all types of healthy food, but, or like health, conscious food. But if a kid isn't eating it, what good does that really do? So,
Right.
we try to make good choices. We give macaroni and cheese, pasta cups, ramen noodles, granola bars, but we also want things the kids will actually eat. And like you said, prepare themselves, because
Mm.
so many of our kids are on their own, basically. It's, when I say on their own, like you said, parents are working or
Sure.
whatever, and they're responsible for getting up and getting themselves ready for school and cooking their own breakfast. So we
Yeah.
like to provide the things, that they can do safely.
And I think that's such a good idea. And as you said, you live and you learn, right, on that. And I would have never
This
dawned
has been
on
a
me.
learning curve. I
I
said
learned the
definite
hard way
learning
about
curve.
this. I learned the hard way about this can opener thing one day because my husband and I can't remember. It was during one of the power outages, and he said, "Let's make some chili." And I said, "Okay." And we got home and we had bought all this stuff for chili, and we only had like a plug-in can opener. And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh
you don't think
wait,
about those things. So, I mean, and we've learned so many other things. I mean, it's just, we laugh now and we reminisce about, the times that we've stood outside in the snow, rain. I mean, I think every weather thing I have stood out in negative, well, not negative, but definitely below zero temperatures to hand out food. We've had 105-degree temperatures. We've handed out food. And
man,
it's just the little things and the assembly line, like when we do the food, we can normally get about, I think this last time we did about 118 bags in 45 minutes. And, because we do just basically an assembly line. I line up all the food and my volunteers just go right down, pick something and start back over. But even
love
that
that."
was that was definitely something that we learned through the years, what worked and what didn't work. So, but after 12 years, you can say because people will tell me, oh, you make this look like a machine. I'm like, only because I've been doing it for a really long time. So learn from my mistakes and, go from there. Because like this year when we did our Christmas giveaway, we brought in two different, I don't want to say agencies, but two different partnerships because we did not only with the food bags we gave away this back on December 13th, but we had a toy giveaway and a clothing giveaway that kind of piggybacked with this. And I would
That's
talk to
awesome.
both of the ladies who did those, and I said, listen, I said, we've been doing this for a while, and I'll be happy for you just to, I'll give them the ticket and make your life a little easier. And so, because it's all about the kids. So, like I said, when they would come through and get their food, I handed them a ticket that said basically that they were a Growing Oak family, and then they got to go in and choose toys and clothing for Christmas. And it was incredible because I think there was over 1,600 toys. I can't remember exact amount, but I know it was more than 1,600 toys that were collected by the Oak Hill
Wow.
community. And that was another thing. Lori Donnelly and Lindsay Lester, they're two teachers at the elementary school. They kind of headed that. And Lori sent me a text. It was probably about a week, maybe just slightly over a week before our giveaway. And she's like, Alicia, I don't have very many toys. So I said, well, this is the power of Facebook. I mean, Facebook is another thing. If you put good into it, you get it back, or it can be drama
Yes.
too. But it's good. So I put my word out on Facebook, and within days, well, actually within about a couple hours, I was PayPal money. I had a lady from California send me an electronic Walmart card. I mean, it was by the next day the library was full of
Wow.
toys, and I'm not exaggerating that. I mean, it even blew me away how much. So we ended up with more toys than we ever had, because, we were able to get the word out there to people. And then Carrie Dugan and Emma Dugan. Carrie works at the High Valley Bank there in Oak Hill. She's a loan officer. And she and her daughter collect nice clothes throughout the year and do clothing giveaways. So she also now has joined us with this. And she said, she just puts the word out, and people, when they kind of hear the brand that goes along with it, that's Growing Oaks, they know that it's going to be going to kids. So she had brand new things with tags and new shoes and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, it was like a one-stop shop that night. So
That's awesome.
it was just, yeah, because like I said, it's a labor of love. I know you can talk to my son Adam when we come home and Sam's Club has delivered $1,000 worth of cereal and it's right in front of our door, and he'll go, "Okay, Mom." I mean, he never complains, but you can just tell he's like, "Oh gosh, another box to carry." But
Here we
we
go.
we say it's our labor of love to do this, and I know the other ladies who participated felt the same way. I mean, we all were ready to pull our hair out. We're nervous wreck that something wouldn't work, but after it's over with, you really it's worth it all. It's worth all the work because you see the gratitude and the smiles and all that stuff. So, but like I said before, and I say it again, I couldn't, Oaks United wouldn't be here without our donors and volunteers. That's another
Sure.
thing. I actually have to I don't want to say turn away volunteers, but you can only have so many people. I mean, I actually have to, like, limit, or I'll spread it out a little bit because I have so many people who want to help, which just is amazing. And this last time when we did our packing, I think my youngest volunteer was 8 year he's 8 years 7 or 8, and then
Aw.
our oldest volunteer was 86. And actually, the 86-year-old had more energy than most of the people in their 30s and 40s. But that's the age range we get, and we'll have youth groups will come. We'll have just I have a certain core group of friends that they know that they're drafted no matter what, because they just have. I'll put the word out, and they know to come. They change their work schedules and everything else, so they'll be there. And like this time for the actual food giveaway, Heath McInnes brought the entire boys basketball team after basketball practice, and they were the
Awesome.
ones who loaded all the food in the car. So that's what I'm saying. It's complete community involvement from, just from head to toe, basically. And I'll give another shout out to Heath because, I told you how we do through the year is we have food bags we give, every month. But at the high school, that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more embarrassing sometimes to kids to do that. They don't want to
Sure.
stand out. And even though I'm at the high school now, he did this for me while I was at the elementary, and he continues to do it. But he has like a food pantry in his room, in his classroom, and kids can go. We stockpile it. Plus, he's got personal hygiene items. He's got clothing, and kids can go in there whenever they want to and get a bag of food or personal hygiene items. Or it's just amazing. Toilet paper. I mean, it's just it blows your mind what some of these
Mhm.
kids go home to that they have a lack of. And we try. I mean, we can't provide every need, but we can at least try. And so Heath has been is kind of like an honorary member of Oaks United as well. But it was wonderful that he brought the basketball team over because they were able to load the cars and with the food bags, because what our families do, we do this at the Presbyterian Church there in Oak Hill. And our if it's just a regular giveaway, they don't even have to get out of the car. They just drive through the
Oh.
alley, pop their trunk, and we load the car and they drive off. And so that we're able usually to do this in about an hour, hour and a half. I mean, because we've got it down. That's what another thing. That's one good thing from COVID. We learned the contactless packing, and we like that idea because
Yes.
it also gives a little bit of level that people aren't seeing other people. There's a little bit more of that privacy. Not that most people care, but you're in your own car and you're not getting out, so not everybody's seeing you going in and getting your food. And which I don't want ever anybody to feel that way. I'm happy to keep it private, and keeping them in their cars helps that tremendously. But some of they'll pull up and they'll have their trunk already popped, and we already know how to open their trunk button. I mean, it's just become, like I said, like a system. And it's almost like I've now seen kids who were in kindergarten when we started this. They're driving now and picking up their own food. So it's just kind of been a really good experience, because I've been at the elementary school now or schools now for 16 years and doing this for 12. So it's basically we
Man.
followed a whole generation of kids now through.
That's right. And, so is it possible for kids to sign up? Maybe I'm sure that they all know about it, but maybe they don't, or maybe there's somebody listening that's moved
Yeah,
into the area.
there could be. I mean, how we sign people up is the beginning of the year when they get their packet, like their beginning of the school year packet. There's always an application, and occasionally I will get the family that will sign up because the parent just signs every paper, and I'll get this paper back and I'll think, I don't know if they want this. So I'll send them a message and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was signing. But most of the time, so I would rather put out a big net and get too many people than miss
Sure.
somebody. So, but how they sign up, and then let's say a family moves in, let's say in the middle of the year, when they get their packet, like from the board office, the Growing Oak application is in that. Or then we'll also just have, sometimes I will get a referral from a teacher or something like that, and they'll say, would you care to check to see if this particular new family might need this or whatever? So, the school nurse talks to everybody. So I
Yes.
usually get on the phone and knows everybody, talks to everybody. So I call and so we try to capture everybody that we can. So, but yeah, like I said, anybody can, just if they're listening to this and they have a family member now it has to be in the Oak Hill schools, but it's
Okay.
preschool through 12, in Buckeye Hills too, and even Hope Haven. I mean, any of our kids, as long as they're an Oak Hill based student,
Okay.
they can be enrolled in this, and all they got to do is let me know, and there's an application that they sign.
I think, and again, thank you for what you're doing. And I'm sure, you said mistakes over the years. I just call that experience, of the things that
Yeah,
you've learned over
learning curve.
time. But you've started this thing and it's continued on for so many years now, and hopefully it will continue on. Um, it sounds like an amazing thing that you all are doing in Oak Hill. And you said, how many families did you say? 300 and some?
Well, we did 100. How we do it now, we used to do it individual, but now we kind of, when COVID hit, COVID just, like I said, was a game changer in so many ways. But we weren't able to get the volume of food at times, so we kind of morphed it into by family now. So
Oh,
we try to buy family size stuff. Well, only for these bigger giveaways. During the
okay.
month, the kids still get their individual bag. When I say the bigger giveaways, we do this at Christmas. We do it right before school. Right before school, we do school supplies too and clothes. So we try
Man,
it
that
this
can
year.
cost.
Yeah, and then Thanksgiving this year we had a new one. We did our first Thanksgiving giveaway, and Carrie Dugan helped me with that too. And Lewis Turkey Farm donated us 50 free turkeys, the big 20-pound turkeys. So we do big giveaways like before school, before holidays, and then during the summer months. But in a regular month of school, they just get the food bags.
Sure.
So like I said, we've been blessed, but anyways, back on what we were saying, since we go by families now, we try to get family size stuff. Like when I order things, like I'll order family macaroni and cheese dinners or something like that. So
Gotcha.
we're this past giveaway, we did 105 families, and I
Wow.
kind of had to do an approximation of how many kids because for the toys, and about 303 of our kids, but that could have been more because we also, if one of our students had a little brother or sister, let's say that weren't in school yet, we went ahead and let them shop for toys as well.
Aw.
So that number could have been a little bit bigger because I wasn't sure exactly how many. I might have missed a kid that wasn't enrolled in school yet.
And that it's just everything you're doing is so great. If somebody wants to help, how do they do that? What's the best thing? Send you money, send you toys, send you food, what?
I mean, and it's always awkward for me, but I always say money is probably best. We have a Facebook page, Oaks United,
Okay.
INC, and then a lot of times people will just directly, message me. I'm on there as Alicia Cazenave. But anyways, but I say money. I mean, I'll never turn down anything, of course, because they give food, whatever will make it work. But we like our bags to be kind of uniform. like everybody gets the same thing because kids pay attention to that.
Yes, they
You
do.
if you want to get an 8 year old worked up is why somebody got this particular brand of cereal and they didn't, or whatever. So we try to keep everything pretty uniform. So when I get money, I'm able to do the bulk order and have the same thing for everybody. But like here this Christmas, I did the cereal crunch, and I put like a Facebook invitation and put it out there, and where the community could donate cereal. And the only thing I kind of put on there was, kid friendly, because this isn't the time to get bran flakes or something like that. They're not going to eat that, and kid
Right.
friendly. And I ended up, I think we have 1,005 boxes of cereal donated from the community. So
Wow.
that kind of gives people the opportunity to give a food item versus money, if whatever they prefer. But toys. Lori and them, they're starting their toy collection early, so people can give as long as they're new. We like to give new toys in a package. So if they happen to find a good deal, after Christmas sale on toys, you could contact one of us and we would take it. And then Carrie Dugan with her clothing, same way. But for as the actual food part, money is probably best. And
Okay.
like I said, people will PayPal me. We do that, or they'll send a check. And we are the 503 where you can take it off of your taxes. And,
Oh,
if somebody would send a check, all they got to do is tell us and we'll send them a receipt so they can take that for their taxes. And, because like I said, we have businesses like Willersburg Animal Clinic. He has been a monthly donor since we started. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, we have these core group of people that have been with us from the beginning, business and personal. And I'm not saying they're doing it because of tax reasons. They're doing it because of their heart. But it's also nice to get a little benefit too from it.
sure. It's
And
win-win for everyone.
it is. And like I said again, all of it goes to the kids. And I've had so many people say that. And I'm a picture taker anyway. I get teased all the time that I'm always just taking pictures of everything. But I take pictures of this because I said I want people to see their donor dollars in action. And they see, when they see that 700 ramen noodles, they were a part of that.
Yep.
Their 5, 10, $20 helped buy that. And and like I said again, I try to be very transparent because I know how charities can be. But I think that's why this has survived, because they know it's kind of homegrown. And
Yes.
they know, you know they knew Marcia was in the schools, I was in the schools. So and we're very transparent about it. And and we encourage community involvement. And we love when people help out. And and like I said, I might not be able to have everybody at one particular giveaway, but I try to spread it out a little bit and give everybody the opportunity to be a blessing.
Well, what you're doing is amazing, and we thank you so much. And honestly, we thank you for spending your your vacation
Oh, that's
down
all
in
right.
Georgia with us.
Happy to do it. Like I said, that's when I told him. I said, well, I said, I'd love to talk, but I'm about 600 miles away. But thanks to technology, we
That's
can be
right.
together. Awesome. But I do want to say, I don't like saying me. I'm just the person at the top. I'm just the person that kind of organizes it. Because I always say I do this to pay back my blessings, to pay it forward, because I've been very blessed in my life, from my parents to many things, and this is just my little way of giving back and giving glory to God. So it's not about me. I'm just a person who just kind of puts it all together, but it's really the community that does this.
Well, we thank you and the entire
Well, we thank you
community
for the opportunity.
for doing what you're doing. And yes, and would you please send us some warm weather?
Oh, I will do my best.
Just
Well,
kind of
I'll do my
shuffle it our
best.
way. I'll
All
tell you
righty.
what.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a very good holiday and enjoy.
Have a Merry Christmas. You too. Thank you much for having me on here today.
Of course, it's our pleasure, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So there you go, Alicia from the Growing Oaks Food Program, and such good things that they're doing down there. Again, living in our small communities, we do tend to help each other, and that's what it's all about. And that's a really, really good example of people coming together and doing good for others. So thank you for that. All right, Mr. Dillon, do we have what are we doing?
We're gonna go take a look at the weather.
Oh, we're going to take a look at the weather, speaking of, and I think you might find that Alicia is maybe successful in giving us some good weather from down in Georgia. Let's take a look at that. Take a day or two for Alicia to get that weather sent back up here, but it's looking pretty good. Now, if you're a white Christmas wanter, I hate to tell you this, but it isn't going to happen. For today, looks like some partly sunny skies with highs around 49. Those lows getting down into 29 overnight tonight. So a little bit colder in the night. I saw lots and lots of frost out this morning. For tomorrow on Friday, beginning of your weekend, your Christmas weekend, partly cloudy skies, highs getting back up to around 52, lows not even freezing at 35. And then Saturday, Sunday looks like highs in the 50s. And then Monday on your Christmas day looks like highs around 62 degrees for Christmas. That's not very Christmassy. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Well, so it's going to be really hot for Christmas?
Like 62.
Man, a long time ago, we actually had a white Christmas. I'd like to see another one of those.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And well, last year, do you remember last year? Last year was when it was so negative temperatures and everybody's pipes burst on Christmas Eve and the world came to an end here in Jackson.
Oh, well, that
It
Christmas
was not good.
I don't know what was wrong with me that Christmas. I think I was sick or something, which I have bad timing with that. I got sick on my birthday too. But I slept most of Christmas. That was a rough one for me.
Yeah.
I just passed out.
It was a good Christmas to sleep because it was so cold last year. And then I think it was the year before that we had like a foot of snow or something on Christmas Eve?
I think it was.
It was wild.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get one of those Christmases. But Alicia was just on here, and I didn't get a chance to show these, but I wanted to go ahead and show these.
Okay.
This is some of the pictures from the Growing Oaks Food Drive.
Oh, great.
So you can see a lot of volunteers there.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So many people coming together for the good, and especially this time of the year, but they do theirs all year long, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so many kids that, as we said, for whatever reason it isn't the kid's fault that maybe there's not food in the house. So that's what they come in and do. I think that's great.
And I know she wasn't the one to touch on this. Maybe Pete can when he gets in here in a moment. But I'm wondering what the Oaksville progress is on getting the world's largest acorn.
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm hoping he has an update on us with that, because that's an exciting project. I can't wait to see that happen.
I know. That is a very, very good question. I thought they were going to try to get it done by the end of the year, but we'll see. I don't know about that. That might not happen.
Yeah. It'd be cool to see it happen at the end of the year, though. Like maybe right on New Year's, like right as the ball drops, they drop the acorn.
Maybe they drop the giant acorn.
Exactly.
And just
like have a giant pole and just have it slowly lower until they hit midnight. Boom.
That would be awesome.
That would be the best way to hit 2024. I would be an no-kill for that. I live in Jackson, but I drive down to see the world's largest acorn drop right on New Year's.
I like it.
That'd be the best thing ever.
It would be.
I would be alive like Jeremiah down there streaming it to Main Street TV.
You're so goofy. So I came in this morning, and this is sitting on our desks. And so I asked you what this is because you said Andy was so kind and dropped these off. And you said that it's a what?
A hot cocoa bomb.
A hot cocoa bomb. Does anyone know what a hot cocoa bomb is?
Well, let me get mine real quick.
Because I've never seen this before, but it seems pretty cool. It's got a stick.
Kind of looks like a Mario pipe.
It looks like a Mario pipe. Well, it's green and it has a stick in it and it has mini marshmallows and sprinkles on top. And so you were telling me that you think you put it in water, like hot water, and it makes cocoa. Is that true?
Yeah, I think you just run hot water on it till it melts and you mix it around and it turns into hot cocoa, but it's like really rich. It's like one of the best ways you can get hot cocoa, which
I feel like we
I
should
have
try
found
this.
a better system for hot cocoa, I gotta say.
Yes.
Maybe it's not healthy, but what I do is I get a Keurig of mixed hot chocolate, put it in there, and I have it all set up over here. And then I put hot cocoa mix of mixed hot chocolate, 2 packs, and mix it around. And it turns into like the most chocolatey looking hot chocolate ever.
That's not
And
hot
it's
chocolate.
so
That's like
rich.
fudge.
Yeah, it's like liquid fudge. It's the best. I don't know how you could get any better hot chocolate than that. I love it.
Well, very good. Well, you could do that and then stick this in it too.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to give that a go. Then I can show Andy my monstrosity.
We'll ask Pete. Well, Pete, have you done your cocoa bomb yet?
I'm going to have written instructions.
That's what I said. We
Yeah.
need to get Andy in here.
We do.
Yeah.
I might ask him to explain it.
Yeah, go get Andy. Well, Pete's here, so go get Andy and he can explain it while
Yeah,
Pete's here.
Pete.
Come with any blueprints.
No, it did not. Come on over, Pete.
All right.
We have some news to do, and we appreciate you stopping in. And we'll get to the bottom of this cocoa bomb thing.
Oh, we need to do that on the air,
I
don't
think
we?
so.
I mean, that's why we're here.
Absolutely.
Help people through things.
I mean,
somebody else may have cocoa bombs out there in TV land.
If someone giveth a cocoa bomb, we got to figure out how to make it happen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So what in the heck is going on, Pete?
Okay, well, we do have a number of things to talk about. You know, we're heading into the pre-Christmas weekend, so we
Yeah.
still have some Christmas activities that have happened and more to happen, and so we'll cover those. And we have a lot of news also from the regular public affairs front and from the sports front, and we're going to start with sports
Okay.
because this does not happen very often. This was not a surprise. We knew it was going to happen, but it was formalized yesterday evening at Jackson High School. Jackson High School running back.
Oh, wait. He's here. Andy, come over here. We got to know.
Is your microphone?
Okay.
Welcome to TV land,
Welcome
Andy.
to TV Land, Andy.
Thank you.
So this was sitting on my desk this morning, and
Yeah.
I was told it was from you.
Yes, more specifically, my wife made them. So
Thank you, Andy's wife.
I just got to
We
make sure
appreciate
she
you.
gets the credit.
Okay. And what exactly is this, and what do we do with it?
That is a cocoa bomb.
Yes.
It is Grinch themed. She's
Grinch theme, because it's
she's-
green.
Yeah, she's on a Grinch kick as of late, and I don't know. It's probably something to do with me, but so just take some milk.
Oh, milk, not water. See, we would have messed
I
that
guess you
up.
could, but it'd probably taste weird with water. But
Okay, milk.
take some milk, either microwave it, put it on the stovetop, whatever, warm it up,
Okay.
drop it down in.
And it just melts and makes
It'll
cocoa.
dissolve. Yep,
The whole thing, right?
the whole thing.
Container
Well,
and all.
You'll want to take the wooden
Well, and
part
then the
out, but
stick-
yeah.
Well, not
for
the not the
stirring, right?
plastic wrap, but everything
Yeah,
else.
and there's a wooden stick in there that you can
That
stir,
you stir with.
So, yep.
Okay, I'm so doing that when I get to the Sixth Sense Brewing Company in a little bit.
Yeah, they're easy to make. She worked her tail off, so let me know how they go.
I will.
All right.
Thank you. Now we know, Pete.
Yeah,
It's all about the milk. Thank you,
I was in
Andy.
doubt.
You
I
are so sweet.
might have screwed it up,
Yes.
but now I won't.
Hey, by the way, free plug for us. We finally have gift cards if anyone is interested for the 7,000 people that have stopped by, and our gift cards were stuck in the mail somewhere. We got them yesterday. Okay.
And plenty of time for Christmas.
Oh, sure.
Those last minute shoppers.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But,
anyway.
sorry. Back to news.
That is from Cocoa Bomb to Cade Wolford.
Yes.
All right. Cade Wolford last night, of course, just had a marvelous 4-year career with the Jackson Ironmen.
Absolutely.
Senior running back. Dylan has put up a photo from the signing ceremony that took place last night at Jackson High School.
Awesome.
And there were a number of photos taken. Our Todd Compston was there. Our Brock Netter was there, who also writes sports for us. He interviewed Cade at another time. But this is one of the photos that Todd took. This happens to be the family photo There on the front row, you've got Cade. He is the second from the right, and he is. They're all wearing. You'll notice the colors of the Kent State Golden Flashes. This is a Mid-American Conference football team, Division
Awesome.
I.
Woohoo!
Division I. You know, there's a number of divisions in college football. This is the big schools.
Yes.
Kent State up there, right around Akron, and that is Cade, second from the right, seated, doing his formal signing. To his left and on the far right, seated, is his daddy, Shane Wolford,
Yes.
who was an outstanding running back himself.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we do not have precise documented records for Jackson High School football, even though it's such a big thing. Just nobody.
So weird.
There was records kept, but they just weren't compiled and kept and preserved. So that's going to be a chore for somebody. But Shane and Cade would both be near if not at the very top of the line,
Sure.
as far as running back statistics, scoring, etc. Cade this past season had 33 touchdowns. We're pretty sure that's a scoring record for Jackson High School. Can't believe that anyone scored more. 200 points by himself.
Wow.
Okay. And he also rushed through 1,554 yards. And what makes that even more spectacular, because a 1,000-yard season is kind of the benchmark for an outstanding season. Cade did it, often not playing in the second half because the Ironmen were so dominant in some of their games. So outstanding season for him. He had 13 Division I offers. 13.
What?
Including 4 to Ivy League schools. Now, what does that tell you about Cade Wolford besides his football skills? It has a whole lot to do with his smarts as well.
That's right.
And also in the picture there, he's got his little brother there right in the middle. I think he's a football player yet to come with the glasses on. He is just a dynamo. Then you have his mother, Jenny. And then on the far left, as you look at the picture, seated is his younger brother, Bodie, who was an outstanding quarterback his senior year.
Yeah.
On the back row, you've got his grandparents, Ted and Kathy Wolford there on the right, and you've got his mother's parents, Casey and Suzanne Jones there, and in the middle that is Ava Wolford. There is actually Cade has a little sister, Ava, and I understand she's quite an athlete. She's right in the middle, standing up. She is in the 6th grade. So anyway, wonderful moment there. Of course, Coach Andy Hall and the football staff was there. A lot of people from the community were there. Other coaches were there as well. Todd Compton took advantage to do a video last night, which we have posted on the Telegram Facebook already. We've got a story coming. We think it will be ready for Saturday's paper from Brock Netter. He had a sit-down interview with Cade. And the thing that Todd already knew how skilled and what an accomplished football player Cade was, but he didn't know how articulate Cade was until he did this video. Smart kid. Dylan, if you've got it, we will roll that. I think it's about a 3-minute video.
Sounds
of
great.
Cade answering questions from Todd about his career at Jackson and his decision to attend Kent State, where he will play football at the next level.
Okay, first of all, Cade, congratulations on your choice and where you're going.
Thank you.
What was the attraction to Kent State?
Well, you know, I went through the recruiting process with several schools. I ended up with 13 Division I offers. Really something I paid attention to throughout the whole process was kind of just really how willing the coaches were to form a relationship prior to really all this stuff. So, and who was honest, that was a big thing. And I felt like the Kent State coaches were very honest through and through from start to finish. And that's something you can't say about every school in the country. So I took several visits up there, went over really everything. That this is Coach Burns' first year as a head coach. He just got hired in January, so the whole staff's new, and they kind of took me through everything about how they have plans for the program in the future, and I just, you know, I really bought in, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
And they recruited you as a running back, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, some of the D1 schools, you don't have to list them all, but list a few that were actually shown interest in you or that you took visits to.
So my first offer, I never ended up taking a visit there, but my first offer came from Columbia University in the Ivy League.
Right.
I ended up with 4 Ivy League offers from Columbia, Dartmouth, Penn, and drawing a blank there, but yeah, and then so I picked up several more. My 2 MAC offers were Akron and Kent State. They're right there beside each other, so I actually was able to visit both those several times. I visited several more MAC schools that didn't end up offering me, but I took several visits to Indiana State. That's also a great institution, great football program with a great coaching staff that I developed a pretty good relationship with. So I'm very thankful for all the schools that recruited me, and it was definitely special to be able to receive these opportunities. I'm very, very blessed. So
I know that you go back a little ways, Jalen Prager, that his brother played here.
Mm-hmm.
He got recruited and signed with Northwestern. But he talked about how you got to get into these combines and stuff at an early age. Is that still that the same way?
So a big thing for me throughout the whole recruiting process, and I think every recruit nowadays would say this: you kind of got to stay away from the these big like regional camps and combines and stuff like that. The camps that really mean something are in about June. You go up to the college campus, and so for instance, Kent State had a camp on June 17th this past year, and I was already developing a relationship with them then. So they kind of told me we want to see what you've got live. So they invited me up, and I was able to go up there and prove myself there. So that was a big thing. I always went to about 8 or 9 camps throughout the month of June at various college campuses and stuff. So yeah, really just the camps on the actual college campuses are the ones that you want to focus on.
Like the camps themselves on the campuses.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Last year, Jacob was able to graduate early and be over there for spring ball. Are you going to be able to do the same thing, or
that was an option of mine. I do play baseball, so right. Jacob, I don't believe he played a spring sport, but so I'm planning on staying back and playing baseball. So I'll be headed there in June, and I'll get started for summer camp and stuff like that, and head right into the season. So
just reflect back on your career here. I mean, your career helped prepare you for this.
Yep.
Here at Jackson, just kind of reflect what it's meant to you.
It was an absolute blessing to play here. I mean, these coaches, they just really put in a ton of time and developed me into the player I am today. I obviously had some speed and stuff growing up, so I was able to have some success in the lower ages. But really, when I got to high school, they taught me everything I know. They made me a complete player, and I have them to thank for all this. I mean, none of this would have been possible without those guys. So it was a blessing to play here. We played on some big stages that got me some notoriety and put my name out there, and I just couldn't be more thankful.
How exciting was this tonight to be able to sign your letter of intent, knowing that now you're a Kent State Golden Flash?
Yeah, to make it official was an absolute blessing, man. I was really excited. We had a great turnout here tonight, and it was just a special moment for me and my family and overall the community, because I say thanks to everybody, because without, like I said in my speech earlier, everybody here had a hand in this, and I just really appreciate everybody.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you talking to me, Kate.
No worries.
All right.
What
well,
a good kid.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something about him. I said this off the air to you while the video was playing. Cade was super talented. Make no mistake about that. But he enhanced his abilities by being very committed and dedicated as a workout
He worked
person.
hard.
Yeah, no, you know what you do away from the Friday night lights is extremely important to what you do under the Friday night lights. And he was known throughout the program as a workout warrior. I mean, he probably was more talented than almost any other player in our system, but he probably worked harder than about any other player in our system as to be as good as he could be. And you can see what he achieved his dream come true, going to a Division I school and having choices on top of that. And so just an outstanding young man all the way around. If you listen to the video, he credited his coaches, his parents, his support system here in Jackson for helping him succeed and giving him the stage to do it. So, but he did the work on his own. So congratulations to him. All right. Also yesterday, so this is pretty hot news too. Yesterday, this is so easy to let slip by because it's almost Christmas, and of course, normally our election cycle is May and November.
Yes.
Well, in the presidential years, it's March and November.
Yes, it is.
Because Ohio wants to have an early primary to have more influence in the presidential primary. And so once again, the primary in 2024, and that will be not just for the presidential candidates, but that will be for everybody that's on the ballot, is in March. It's actually March the 19th.
Woo.
Well, filing deadline for all candidates, local and otherwise, is 90 days before that. Well, 90 days was yesterday, December the 20th.
Oh, man.
So 2024, the presidential years are also big years for the county government positions in Jackson County and Vinton County for that matter. And so most of our county offices for partisan candidates, meaning Republican or Democrats, yesterday was the filing deadline. This isn't the end all. If you're a write-in candidate or an independent candidate, there's still more time to do. Obviously, in most cases, it's partisan candidates that fill the ballot. So yesterday, we had 9 county offices where people could run for, and didn't turn out to be, all that dramatic. We have one contested race in the Republican
It's so
primary.
much more fun when it is dramatic, Pete.
Right, it is. Well, when there's contests, it heightens the interest for sure.
Yeah.
But in Jackson County, there are 9 county level offices that are on the ballot in the 2024 election cycle.
Okay.
And there are 10 Republican candidates for those 9 positions. So we only have one contest. There are no Democratic candidates at all.
Really?
0, nada. So what you have is, after you get by the Republican primary, on paper right now, there will be no contested races in the November general election. I don't think that will happen because people can sit back, they can see who's going to run in the primary, and then they can run as independent candidates.
Yes.
That's obviously preferred as a write-in candidate, because in a write-in candidate, your name is not on the ballot, and people have to be able to spell and ask questions and know to do that.
Know where to write you in.
That is definitely the uphill way to go, but we've seen write-in candidates before. But the only contested race, getting right to it, is a rematch. It is for the January 3rd term of county commissioner that is currently held by Republican Paul Haller. Paul has decided to run for a 4th term.
Okay.
And he is being opposed by another familiar figure in the county, and that is Greg Beckner. Greg Beckner, of course, known, I think a lot of folks know him personally, but he, as a business person, he is at Jerry's Do It Center. I believe he's the manager there.
Yes.
Well, he gave Paul Haller a good run for his money 4 years ago, and by golly, we got a rematch.
All right.
4 years ago, it was a 3-way race between 3 very good candidates. They all did very well. Paul Haller, Greg Beckner, and Bobby Montgomery. This year, it's just those 2.
Okay.
So we will see what happens. The winner will move ahead to the November general election. Remember, we could have write-in and independent candidates file. Your timetable for that, if you're going to run as an independent candidate and run in the general election in November, that's November 5th, by the way, you have to file no later than 1 day before the primary.
Yes.
They don't give you a chance to see who won the primary. You have to commit before that.
Yep.
So we will see what happens. I'll be very surprised if there isn't, independent candidate or candidates. But the other persons who are running for the county level offices are all familiar figures. As a matter of fact, they're in office right now. It's the incumbents, all Republicans. They are, I'll run down the list. Sheriff Ted Frazier.
Okay.
The January 2 commissioner's term, that is Donnie Willis. 3 commissioners, Donnie Willis, Paul Haller, and John Hensler. John Hensler's term is in the middle of it. He would not have to run, or his seat will not come up for another 2 years. That's 2026. The county auditor is in that cycle too, not on the ballot next year. Okay, the other candidates, Prosecutor Randy Dupree.
Okay.
Of course, he was appointed at the beginning of 2023, but he's already in there, and he is running for a full term this time. Clerk of Courts, Seth Michael. Recorder, Krista Brown. Treasurer, Lee Hubbard. Engineer, Melissa Miller. And Coroner, Dr. Alice Frazier.
Okay.
So that is the candidate lineup in Jackson County. The Vinton County candidates, they had to file yesterday too. I'm working with the elections office up there. They're going to prepare a list for me. I hope to have that later today, and we'll share that maybe tomorrow.
It's always fun to hear, what we're going to get to vote on.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to run over a few other things real quickly, kind of on that are kind of time sensitive.
Sure.
The Oak Hill Village Council is meeting tonight. Normally, they would not meet until December 26th, the day after Christmas.
Okay.
But they're going to get that meeting over with early.
Smart.
Right. So it's going to be tonight. on the 21st at 6 p.m. in case you have an interest there. It will be the last meeting through Councilman Jeremy Van Dyne, who did not run for re-election. Vincent Powell will be the new councilman who is taking that seat. Also, the Jackson County Board of Health is having a meeting tonight at 6:30. They made an announcement that there's going to be a change. It's the regular meeting date and time, I think, but it's going to be in a new place. It's going to be at 102 Twin Oaks Drive. That's across the highway from Holzer Medical Center. That is where they're going to be moving sometime in 2024. Now,
sometime.
Don't want to mislead anybody. They're not there yet, but they're going to have a meeting there.
Okay.
So, sometime in 2024, I would expect the first part, they will be moving from their downtown building at the B.J. Allison Health Building out there to Twin Oaks Drive, where they will have more room.
And who is B.J. Allison?
B.J. Allison was a former health commissioner in Jackson and a local physician.
Gotcha.
And when this building was built in the 70s, I'm not sure whether it was, I go back to the 70s, but I cannot remember whether they named it in his honor because he happened to be the health commissioner or was in the past, or because he was a mover and shaker that made that happen.
Gotcha. Okay.
But before that building was built, they were stuck on the third floor of the courthouse with not very much room.
Oh,
at
my.
all.
That would have been horrible.
Okay, so the Christmas holiday, of course, is Monday. And for you last-minute shoppers, in case you've forgotten, it's Monday. So
it is. You have this weekend.
But there's a lot of closures that involve local governments. I mean, about everybody is going to be closed on Christmas Day. But, of course, the garbage is affected. We have the list in paper and online about garbage services and offices openings and closing. So you might want to check that out.
Yep.
Here at Total Media, we will be closed on Christmas Day. However, our papers will come out on the regular schedule. It doesn't hit the holiday. Preparation time hits the holiday.
Yes.
But our paper will come out tomorrow as scheduled. It will come out next Wednesday, the 27th, as scheduled. However, our offices will be closed to the public on the 25th, and the same schedule basically will be repeated for New Year's Day as well.
Okay.
All right, some other things I want to tell you about. The Santa House at Manpower Park. This is the last chance to see Santa, and that will be Saturday. Santa will be there from 5 to 7 p.m. at Manpower Park.
Have you gone to see Santa yet?
I've seen Santa, but I've not taken the time to talk. I've not knocked any 5 or 6 year olds out of line, but it still looks like fun. I've seen a few adults sit on Santa's lap along the Christmas season.
I'm down.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I know you were asking him to deliver those gift cards.
That's right.
And he did.
You're not kidding.
He came through.
Or just thank you, Brandon from FedEx.
Right. Well, there's going to be another event, a pre-Christmas event this weekend that will be worthy. It will be this Saturday at the Trinity Wesleyan Church in Oak Hill. They're going to have a live nativity scene. The church has done that for a number of years.
Those are so neat.
It's the 9th annual, as a matter of fact. It will be from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. That is at 509 Elm Street in Oak Hill. Of course, they'll have the live nativity scene. As advertised, they'll have buggy rides for children from 4:30 to 5. And they'll have free hot chocolate and cookies. I don't know whether they're going to have the cocoa bomb, but they will have the hot chocolate there. And they'll have a carol sing that anybody can join in on from 5:30 to 6. So you can't have any more warm up for Christmas that's better as far as the true meaning of Christmas than an event like that.
Exactly.
All right. We're down to cases. The Jackson Women's Club candy shops in both Jackson and Wellston are still open, but they're going to close Saturday.
Okay.
They're open Saturday.
I have to go there today.
That is the last day. 269 Bridge Street in Jackson, 1024 South Pennsylvania Avenue in Wellston. That's the first year for that. I was told by the Women's Club that their candy is picked over in the sense that they've had a lot sold, but they still have a good selection left.
Okay.
So if you go there, I'm sure you can find something for your sweet tooth or the sweet tooth of some friends and family. All right. And Hothead Burritos out in the McCarty Crossing, they're going to have a event that is free. Santa Claus will be available for photos there from 12 p.m. to 4. And they're going to have a photo backdrops with a Grinch-themed motif. They will also have treat bags while supplies last. Those are free. And also, Leroy the elf will be hiding there, and the kids who find Leroy the elf there in the restaurant will get a free cookie.
Uh-huh.
So that
Keep your eyes
that's
open.
a good way to sell some burritos, maybe. All right, and also this invitation came from the Grace United Methodist Church in Jackson. I know that a lot of churches are having Christmas services, Christmas Eve services, but they wanted to put the word out through total media that they want the public to come. It isn't just for their church members. Their Christmas Eve service is going to be this Sunday at 6 p.m. They want to issue an invitation to the community. It's located there right where Oak and Locust come together.
Have the big nativity scene out front.
Right, the live
Yes.
nativity
Yeah,
scene.
I kind of grew
out
up
front.
over there.
Right, exactly. And so,
the only 5-way stop in the middle in the United States, probably.
Right.
Strangest intersection ever.
Right. If you put the camera on there, we probably have more stop sign violations there than anywhere.
100%.
Because people aren't sure they should stop.
I don't know what's happening
You
here.
look around, who's stopping. But anyway, they want to invite non-church members. They want to invite members of other churches. They want to invite the general public. If you don't have a church, or you're in between, or whatever, or you just want to experience something like that on Christmas Eve, they cordially invite you to come.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, that is what I have right now. We'll maybe do a little bit more tomorrow too.
Yeah, and we also are supposed to have a visit via the power of the internet from our good friend Jess Kelly Adams, who just released a beautiful, fun Christmas song. So we'll be talking with her, hopefully, if all the buttons get pushed properly. And
okay, well, if
the internet works.
if she is here, giving her message or singing or whatever, I will promise you this: I will not follow up with more singing. We'll do a little bit of news.
Well, Oklahoma just isn't real appropriate at Christmas time.
Not unless it's snowing.
All right. Well, Pete, thank you so much for stopping in. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for Alicia spending her morning with us as well. And we'll be right back here tomorrow with hopefully Jess Kelly Adams and some more news from our good friend here, Pete Wilson. So have a great day. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.